we're in this unique transition time. Like, you know, in Miracle, the hockey movie, when all the guys are saying what college they play for, and the
Yeah.
coach is like, no, like, I'm trying to get you to say that you play for the United States of America. Yes, yes, literally, exactly. Kling is pointing to her back, pointing to her front. It's about the name in the front, not the name in the back. I love it.
Yep.
It's not that I'm getting this vibe from the players. It's that we are being introduced to these players in their national team uniforms, in their national team identities. We're still identifying them as Alyssa Thompson, who plays for Angel City, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's an interesting transition because the generation who came before this generation were known as U.S. women's national team players. You, Becky, Pino, Alex Morgan. Like, we thought of those players as U.S. women's national team players first. And so I think as we're like going through this period where this baton is being passed, how can leaders like Lindsay Heaps and Naomi Girma make sure that the national team mentality, the thing that has always made this team special, has always made this team what it is and so iconic, continues to shine through and continues to have that level of like cultural significance that we have come to associate with the players on this team?
That's such a good question. I feel like there's so much good things to take through from my generation, from the generation before, from your generation, Sam, and bring it forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's a lot of stuff to let go.
Mm.
From my generation, I feel like there was 20 spots and it was cutthroat. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was 20 spots in the country for women to play soccer professionally without having to have another job. 20, that's it, for millions of women. And so those spots were cutthroat and people acted like it. And I can't blame them. Like that's their livelihood, that's their dream. And now we were able to create a world where more women can play without having to worry about having a second job. Like how cool is that? That's the thing. So I'm happy that they get to let that go. And now that we've created that world, it's like it's become a little bit more individual in terms of like your brand and how you go about making your money. And that's totally great. Like, I want people to make their money and I want people to create lasting generational wealth for themselves and for their family. Like, that is the
Mm-hmm.
goal for women because that will change the face of and the landscape of soccer for everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
that will be a good thing. I hope all of that continues. And it's like, to your question, how do we still keep that culture though, where when it says USA on the front, we're playing for something bigger? And one of the things that I was most proud of my group, of your group, is standing up for what is right, standing up for human rights and human liberties, and creating a space where things are not necessarily equal, but more equal than they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're lucky, you create a bigger change in your lifetime than these little steps forward. And I think we actually did that with equal pay. So I want players to be able to remember like how hard we fought for equality, how hard we fight for human rights, how hard we fight for creating a better playing field for everybody, because that's something bigger than yourself. And that's what it means to put USA on the front of the jersey. And if you remember that, then I think that name on the back becomes a bit more insignificant and you play for something that means a lot to a lot of people everywhere. And
Yeah.
to me, that's one of the ways that you have to remember. It can be easy to lose that, especially when you feel like, hey, this is a pretty good life now, which is great. I'm so happy people have a great life. And also, there was a lot that went in that to make it this world for everybody. And we are so proud that we did it. And we want people to enjoy it however they want to enjoy it. And it's about making sure that people remember that there are really important things in this world that the women's national team represents. And when you put on the jersey, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. That was like such a beautiful and amazing answer. And I'm so glad I asked you that question. And it reminds me of when we won the World Cup in 2019 and I saw the fourth star above the crest. And it was in that moment, I mean, I went through that journey and I did a lot of thinking about like my last name and what that means for my family that I was there and I was on that team and we won. But in that moment, when I realized that a star that I had helped the team earn was going to be on that crest forever now, that fourth star, I was a part of that. And like, it was the symbolism of the crest and of the front of the jersey that meant so much to Impact. And I think that that emotion that I felt in that moment really kind of like is the same as what you're talking about. It's like this team is bigger than any one person. And I think looking to the leaders of the team to continue to make sure that that gets passed on. I like really trust that these players will and can pass that on. And just as the same way that it was passed down to me from players like you. So I'm super excited for the future. That was a really beautiful answer, Kling, and thank you for sharing that.